Damn. Damn, we should have had these guys. We should have had these guys, damn it. Such an untimely, such an untimely interception there. I'm gonna be very intrigued to hear what Ben Johnson, DJ Moore, Caleb Williams got to say. It looked like it was a miscommunication. Whatever reason, DJ Moore just stopped running. Caleb Williams anticipates the throw that he thinks DJ Moore is gonna keep running and gonna cut in and kind of honest to God be a similar like play to the play we won in Green Bay. And DJ Moore just stops running. It leads to an interception. Rams a few plays later go down into the field. Albeit the Bears stop him. Now why Ben Johnson didn't decide to ice the kicker? No idea, but I guess you can ask that with the many other various decisions that Ben Johnson decided to do in this game. And the Bears end up sadly going home. We are going to Cancun. I bet you Packer fans are probably laughing their asses off saying, ha 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 ha. But we lost. This ends in a very heartbreaking way to end the season. This game was definitely there for the taking. It was definitely winnable. We could have definitely advanced and went on to play Seattle. Um, I do believe we could have beat the Rams. The fact that the defense only held them to, well, until the game-winning field goal, 17 points, and we basically held Puka and Devontae Adams in check for literally the entirety of the game. I was absolutely floor blown. I'm thinking we're gonna get cooked by these two dudes, and Dennis Allen came up with the game plan of his fucking life. I was absolutely floored at the job. So to all the Dennis Allen haters that were hating on Dennis Allen, you can't hate on him tonight because he sure as hell had Sean McVay's offense in fucking hell. The only thing you can call it the defense is the various times Kevin Byard or Tremaine Edmonds or any other guy we had only had the opportunity to turn the ball over. We didn't turn the ball over. Kevin Byard had two times in this game. He had clear-cut interceptions on Matthew Stafford, and he dropped them. DeMarco Jackson makes a tip ball, is guarding Puka. He makes a tip on it. I don't know why Tremaine Edmonds didn't die for that. It's the playoffs. You got to sell out. You got to get a turnover. Those are huge. Turn of momentum. Or you have dumb plays at the end of the half where the Rams are driving to try to get at least a chip shot to get a field goal to make it a tie game. And Javon Dexter, for whatever reason, he decides to freaking shove Coleman Shelton down to the ground, which gets a unnecessary roughness penalty or unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which makes it a chip shot field goal for the kicker when it could have been a much harder field goal that maybe he misses. We don't know, and maybe you go into halftime up 10-7. You know, DJ Moore just stopped running on his route on the last second on that last play that led to the interception. Like, come on now. Uh, you know, the second Caleb Williams interception when you had some momentum. Don't know why he locked onto Luther Burden and he decided to throw that. Uh, the receivers. Speaking of the receivers dropping passes all night long. All they do is they get paid to catch the football and they drop the football time and time again. Caleb Williams is putting the ball where it needed to be, and the receivers, oh, drop, oh, drop. Ramadunze still dropping passes. He dropped a touchdown on the first drive of the game for the Bears. Would have given you insane momentum to start the game off. He dropped it, and then a play later, you go for it on fourth down, and Caleb throws an interception. Ben Johnson deciding on when to go for it on fourth down or not. The first drive, I think he should have just taken the points. Just take the three, at least get some momentum and say, hey, we went down the field, we got 3 points. Right? And then the red zone play calling was just absolutely abysmal. Like, we were trying to get in the red zone, that was fine play calling. And then we get to the red zone, and then Ben Johnson, I don't know what the hell he was play calling. And then the short yardage situations. The short yardage situations, you know, that was honest to God pathetic. It was pathetic. And the fact that Ben Johnson continued every single play to continue to do the short yardage situations, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and you don't change it up. You don't do play action with maybe Caleb rolling out. You don't do the QB sneaks, which we saw only 2 times. One time, I think it was in the third quarter, and the other time in the overtime period. He religiously decided to keep doing these 3rd and 4th and short yardage situations religiously, and he didn't stop. The Rams are clearly sniffing it out immediately. They stuffed you before it even happened, and you still decided to keep repeatedly going after it again, doing it again. And I'm just like, dude, at some point, like after the third time, realistically, after the second time, you got to stop that. Like at some point, you cut your loss and be like, all right, they're sniffing it out. We're not going to run that. If we get in that situation, we're going to do QB sneak, or we're just going to go play auction off of that and boot Caleb. Shit, even do read option. You could tell they were crashing down on the running backs. And Ben Johnson continued to do it over and over again, which killed the drives. And it's like, dude, why are you continuing to run these 3rd and shorts and just run the ball right up the middle? Like, if you want to run it, see if you can run to the outside. We saw that happen, and then it was on the goal line, and DeAndre Swift stuffed. He tries to hurdle a guy, but no. And who knows? Maybe you get that touchdown to tie the game there. You get another stop, and that touchdown, that crazy, insane touchdown Caleb Williams had, wins you the game. But I thought tonight, the Bears, they beat themselves, and offensively they beat themselves. This is the same team that in Carolina, the Panthers were able to put up 31 points against these dudes. And the fact that the Bears only came away with 17 points when you had ample opportunity to basically essentially blow these guys out tonight. And realistically, the head coach, when it comes to his play calling, got in his own way. The short yardage situation and the red zone play calling were just absolutely atrocious tonight. Like, if there's one particular person I could put blame on this loss, it's Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson was realistically the reason why we did not win this game tonight. Just through to certain situations, it really felt like he was out coaching himself. The obvious thing you knew, okay, let's not do this again. He did it again. He decided to keep running it to Swift and Monangai in these short yardage situations, and time again, the Rams kept stuffing it. It was like as if Ben Johnson was trying to tell us, like, okay, you want these short yardage situations, you've been bitching all these times you wanted me to give you the ball to the running backs. Here they go. Because all the games before that, we would see him in these 3rd and shorts. We elect to pass, and we would obviously rightfully get pissed because it's like, well, at that point in the game, you're dominating the team on the run. Just run it one more time. But then you elected to pass, which could the drive. Like, for example, last week against the Green Bay Packers, when I'm thinking, okay, run it down their throat. Right here, 4th and short, just run it. Give it to your running back. He decides to pass, and the play automatically was blown up, and Caleb forced it up, and it ended up getting intercepted. Now this week, it's like, okay, now you guys want what you want. Here you go. I'm not going to pass the ball. And I felt like in those situations, he didn't put the ball in his quarterback's hands. It felt like he didn't trust Caleb to do the right thing. And I don't know why he didn't do that. Like, at some point after the third time, you got to be like, all right, I'm putting it in Caleb's hands. I would have went under center, play action, and booted off of there. Because we saw Caleb could outrun the end who was literally right there. But Ben Johnson stuck to his guns. He continued to keep calling these fourth and short runs, thinking, oh, we're going to break through and we're going to get through it. Dog, like at some point, you as the coach got to make that adjustment. You as the play caller have to make the adjustment to move on from what you going on and say, all right, this is not working. We got to do something else. And then you had some people obviously going to this game kind of like a little bit like, why are we moving Joe Tooney to left tackle and we're putting, I think his name was Bushrod at left guard. And to be honest, that wasn't much of a problem tonight. Like the offensive line, outside the short yardage run situations, they played a solid game. And hey, props to Joe Tooney. He did a good job out there at left tackle. Our left guard, he did good. I know some Bear fans going into this game were getting on Ben Johnson like, why the fuck are you doing this? Just keep Joe Tooney at left guard and put just Theo there. Now, I think the reason why is because they saw the game in week 18 where Theo did start for Ozzy Trapillo and Theo just got absolutely manhandled that game. And I think the Bears remember when Aiden Hutchinson beat him and it led to a fumble in that game. And I think Ben Johnson's like, I've had enough of that. I'm not going to go that. Not in a playoff situation, not against these pass rushers. I'll stick with my guns with Joe Tooney playing this game or playing left tackle. So, look, man, it is what it is at the end of the day. I thought the Bears beat themselves tonight, and that kind of what led to the Bears not winning this game. In a season that was probably one of the most fun, one of the most memorable, I'll go down watching. The Bears came out and they just didn't show up offensively. The defense showed up. Offense in certain situations, just because the play caller just, I didn't think set the team up for success tonight. It just didn't. I thought Caleb did enough. The only issue I had was him throwing the interceptions all over the part. But realistically, you can only probably blame one, maybe two of them against him. Like the first one, and like, look, man. Okay, maybe you just throw it on Colson Loveland's chest and not oversell it. But you know, that was kind of like a punt right there. It's more on the Rams' fault for like, why did you even catch that? Right. So, there's that. And then the second one, that was just a terrible interception by Caleb. I don't know why he threw that. That was double covered by Luther Burden. And I think he only threw that to Luther because I think at that point in the game, he only trusted Luther as a viable receiver because guess what? Nobody else was catching the fucking football. Like shit. Colson Loveland was dropping passes all over the field tonight. And I was shocked by that. I'm like, dude, come on. And Roma Dunze, like for fuck's sake. We drafted this guy top 10 and he's still dropping passes. And yet his dad wants to get on social media and complain and cry. But I'm like, dude, your son is dropping passes all the time. I see it. He's dropping a touchdown. He's dropping a touchdown. Like, come on now. I know the ball was slightly behind him, but still. You got to catch that. And he's catching with his body, not his hands. And then on a almost interception, I think Caleb Williams expected Rome to come back to the ball, and he just gave up on that and almost let Durant pick it off there too. Rome Odunze got to have a big third year, man, because for what he's been giving us, he had a promising rookie year with his blunders too, because he still had the drop issues in his rookie year. But man, after coming off this year, man, he was dropping the ball all the time. And I think after like one of the out routes Caleb Williams threw him, he drops it. And then you see on the broadcast, Ben Johnson literally going into Roma saying basically, from what I look like, he said, catch the freaking ball, dude. And it was a simple play. Caleb Williams put in a position where only Rome needs to go make a play and catch it, moves the chains. And Rome dropped it again. Ramadoon's got to have a big third year, man, when it comes to catching the football. He's got to have a big third year when it comes to catching the football. Because if he doesn't catch the football in year three, well, then you're probably looking at him probably not being retained. And the Bears might just move off on this guy. The fact that he's dropping so many passes, I don't know. This dude was really good, had really good hands in college. And then he comes to the NFL and then he just becomes Butterfingers. And he's a top 10 overall draft pick. Now it's starting to look like that may be a bust. The more I keep seeing him drop passes all over the field. And if he continues doing that next year, well, then I'm going to have a problem. Because now that's going to be, okay, now you're just a bust. And that's looking like, okay, then maybe we should have just taken a pass rusher, or like Jared Verse, or maybe we should have just taken an offensive lineman. Because you clearly can't catch the football, and we invested highly into you. Look, man, Ben Johnson, in certain situations, he needed to be better tonight. He needed to be better tonight. Like the fact that he failed to adjust these these short yardage situations instead of like at some point like you just had to feel like when he ran it again, it's just like, dude, you're just exhausting a breath of air, and it's like, dude, you're killing the drive because you keep doing this shit. And I thought the DeAndre Swift one, I thought, dude, it's game over. And then Caleb Williams makes the miraculous play and literally picks his coach up. It just felt like, okay, I understand it's cold weather, but like, bro, put the ball in your quarterback's hand. He's the best player you got on your team. He's got you to this point. Believe in him to get you a first down on a short yarded situation. And Ben Johnson religiously just didn't do it. I hope the beat reporters asked him, like, hey, why did you keep religiously, the Rams were snuffing it out. Why did you keep running it up the middle when it wasn't working? Like at some point, like, okay, man, if your offense is not, even in that overtime period, I thought you were wasting down sometimes when you ran the ball because the Rams were literally selling out to stop the run. They sold out to stop the run. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't know why Ben Johnson elected to do that, but look, man, whatever, man, whatever. It is what it is. I just hope in these situational play calling moments, it's better next year. I hope. Hey, man, I understand it's the playoffs. I don't need you to go for it on fourth down every fucking time. Like that first drive, just take the points. Get some momentum. You're up 3-0. Take the points. Didn't do it. And you take points off the board. And we saw these two playoff games, he was more aggressive for whatever reason. And I'm like, dude, calm down. Just take the points. Yes, the second time in the goal line we had to go for on fourth down, the top first touchdown. Yeah, that's a situation you had to go for it there. You're on the goal line. You need to get a fourth. You can't get three. You got to get a touchdown there. That's a good feel of the game. But to start the game off, you get all the way down there. We didn't need that. Just take the points. Take your three. Move, move on. Trust your defense because your defense got the stop. Or no, they didn't get the stop. Right? They didn't get the ball first. So yeah. Look, regardless, commendable effort defensively. I thought the defense. Dennis Allen was in his bag today, man. Dennis Allen was in his bag today. He had Puka and Devontae locked the fuck up. They can chat about the win, right? Devontae Adams can chat about the win, but he can't act like as if we didn't lock him up. I also know Bill fans are probably upset about his catch, Devontae Adams' catch. So if you watch last night, Cooks made a catch, but they ruled that an interception. The same thing happened tonight. Devontae Adams made the catch, but Jadrick Stevenson ripped it out of his hands. And of course, last night they called that an interception. Tonight they called that a catch. Did the NFL referees committee freaking say, hey man, next time that needs to be a catch? So why was yesterday an interception, but tonight it's a catch? Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Either the referees, in terms of spotting some downs and distances, were bad. Like when they would give us the first down, oh no, 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 it's actually a third down. Like one of the Caleb scrambles, he ended up getting the first down, but then they called it back, say, oh, that's a third down. But the DeAndre Swift run right up the middle. He got the first down. They called it a first down. Oh, no, no, they're down. Okay. All right. But Dennis Allen was in his bag today. The defense can't be more proud. That was probably the best performance I've seen them play in a very long time. I'm just wondering, like, why couldn't we not do this against the Packers, bro? We're gonna do this against the Packers, but we did this against the Rams, against a veteran quarterback of Matthew Stafford's caliber with those receivers. And the Packers receivers, they ain't got nothing over there. But we can basically lock them down. Now, maybe the elements did play a factor into that. I don't know. I think it was mostly the pressure. So yeah. And then look, man, I want to get out of here on a positive note because I just have to. Caleb Williams, man, albeit he did throw 3 interceptions tonight. He was fine for the most part. Wasn't his best game in some cases, but honestly, I don't think it was really realistically his fault. Now, one thing he definitely knows whenever he gets back in the playoffs, he can't turn the ball over like he did. He can't have 3 interceptions. Like last week, he had 2 interceptions. Tonight, he had 3 interceptions. You know, you're not going to win a lot of games. You saw that with Josh Allen when you turn. You saw that with CJ Stroud earlier today. When you turn the ball over so much, you're not going to win a bunch of games. You're not going to win playoff games. You know, Matthew Stafford, yes, he put the ball in harm's way, but it didn't end up becoming turnovers. Caleb Williams turned the ball over, it ended up losing you the game, or played a factor in why you lost the game. But for all the people that doubt Caleb Williams, who hate on Caleb Williams because of their quote unquote attitude when it comes to being insensitive or being I know the word I'm talking about, but I can't think of it. Frick. You know what I mean. Like people think that, oh, he is this some type of quarterback, or he comes across as a gay dude or something like that because he paints his fingernails and things like that. Like dog, like if you're hating on him for those reasons, those misogynist type of people, if you hate on him because the dude paints his nails, he does his own thing of what he does, like, dude, like, go outside, go touch some grass. Like, it is what it is. You know, you can't hate on him when the guy's going out there and he's making plays. That fourth down play, I'm like, there's no shot we get this fourth down play. And when the play was completely blown up, I'm like, I'm like, yep, that's it, game over. And then he heaves up a prayer. And by God, he puts it on the dot to Cole Kmet, and the Bears somehow tied the game. And I was just in utter shock and awe of what I saw. I'm just like, unbelievable. I can't believe that happened. That was probably the play. That was probably the number one play of the entire NFL season. Like you had Sean McVay just like, what just happened? And it would have been even better if we had ended up beating the Rams tonight, and that would be the highlight play talking about it. Because that would have been like the play that saved the Bears season. But listen, 2 years ago, when we decided to move out Justin Fields, I did make a video on the channel talking about you better damn well know that you better damn well hope, and you better damn well know that Caleb is the guy making this move. You know, albeit I accepted the fact that the Bears were going to move off of Justin Fields. I was in this point. I was like, all right, well, you better admit, you better know you hit the money on the head. And we've seen how Justin Fields' career has played out and how Caleb's career has played out in year two after 2 years. Justin Fields looks like he's going to be out of the league. And he more than likely might need to, either he's going to have to set him just be a backup, a serviceable backup quarterback, or he's going to have to change positions. Meanwhile, Caleb Williams, he's that dude. He's that guy. In the 2 years I've seen this guy in a Bears jersey, I already know that this dude is the guy. I already know this guy is the guy. He is the quarterback we've been waiting for. You don't make plays like he did against the Packers, plays like he did tonight with that prayer from heaven, and think, oh, this guy's not it. He's it. Like, plain and simple. He's that dude. That is the quarterback we've been waiting for. Sign this man to a lifetime contract. I know he's not up for an extension, but Jesus, I would give him the extension right now and make sure he doesn't leave. Because my God, from where he came at last year to this year is absolutely amazing. These playoffs have shown you he's arrived. This year as a whole has shown you he's arrived. He is that guy. He's a guy that is clutch. He's a guy that puts us in positions to win games. He's a guy that does things that I haven't seen a previous Bears quarterback do. He's going to learn from these mistakes he made in these playoff games, throwing the ball to the other team. But that's the growth thing. That's the growth factor. Ben Johnson is going to hopefully learn from this, knowing, hey, man, I got to adjust my game plan on the fly. Caleb Williams is this guy. The fact that we can come out of this season and we know without a shadow of a fact that we know Caleb Williams is the guy, that's the real number one. That's the real win right here. We know he is the guy. Because with Justin Fields, it was like, well, after his second year, it was like, well, he did some nice things, but he didn't have enough help. So we really can't say he's the guy. Year 2, year 1 under Ben Johnson. He's the guy. And some people will bring up completion percentage and shit like that. I don't care. He makes winning plays. He puts the team in position. Yeah, is there always room for improvement? Is there always room for growth? Yes. But he's going to get better the more he plays in this league. He's going to be a lot better in year 2 of the Ben Johnson offense than he was this year. These players offensively are going to be better in year 2 of the Ben Johnson offense. You would hope that Luther Burden knows the playbook, so Caleb Williams isn't telling him where to go. Colson Loveland seems like he's already mastered it. Rome Odunze, you hope he catches more passes. DJ Moore, I don't know what that story is. Is that the last you see of DJ Moore in a Bears jersey because he quit on a route? I don't know. But I know for a fact we got the quarterback. That answer is made. The Iceman is our guy. Ben Johnson is the coach we've been waiting for. Yeah, he didn't have a good game today, play calling today. Sometimes it's going to happen some of the best. And it was irritating. But I know Ben Johnson is the type of coach that we need. The fact that he took this team, with the exception of the offensive line, turned this whole season around, won the NFC North in year 1, got to the divisional round and almost the NFC Championship game in year 1. You know you got somebody here. You know you got the head coach right. Now, I hope going to next year we win the NFC North again. It's not going to be easy. Now you're the hunted. Teams are going to be like, all right, we know what the Bears are. They're going to be prepared. And the real test is, can we repeat what we can? Even if we don't win the division, get to the playoffs again. Find a way to win a wild card game and get back to the divisional round and see if this year is your year to get to the NFC Championship. Now the real test starts. The real test is now back on Ryan Poles, and looks like Ian Cunningham's going to be staying here. Ian Cunningham's shoulders to make the necessary moves like you did offensively in this offseason. When you got Ben Johnson, you improved the offensive line. Now the time it's time to focus on the defense. Make some re-signings here and there. I got to also give credit. Jaquan Brisker, man. I've been giving him shit all season long. He came to play tonight. Jaquan Brisker came to play tonight. Like, if he knew we were going to lose, hey, I hope I did enough to earn me another contract. If that's the type of Jaquan Brisker we're going to be getting, hey, man, he can get re-signed. I don't know how much we're going to pay him. I want to pay him a lot. But you know what but trust and believe, I would definitely resign him. Now, maybe the Bears do resign him. Maybe they give him a 1-year prove-it deal. Be like, hey, man, you stayed healthy for a full season. I want to see you stay healthy for another season. Right? There's some moves the Bears got to make. They're going to have to cut some salary. They may have to trade away some guys. They may have to tell some of the guys, hey, you're going to take a cut in your salary because you're going to have to probably re-sign some dudes. DeMarco Jackson, he's a guy I would re-sign. You can get him at a cheap deal to come back. You know, you gotta obviously the number one thing that the Bears got to do is they got to improve the defensive line. We got pressure today against Matthew Stafford, but it's always getting those pressures and getting him down. Like that last drive, we could have used a dangerous pass rush to get a sack, to blow up the play and have a chance to give the offense excuse me, a chance to get the ball back. So, I fully 100% expect the Bears to address the trenches defensively and get pass rushers and get dudes that can penetrate opposing teams' offensive lines and create havoc. And yes, you're gonna have to shed some salary. You're gonna have to maybe do a post June 1st cut. You may have to trade somebody gets to relieve cap space. We'll see. But for a year where last year at this time, or a few weeks ago at this time, I was absolutely in disgust with the Bears. I hated the Bears. I hated everything that the Bears were sending out with their propaganda, and it just felt like there was no hope. And after this year, to say that I have hope, I have belief that this is not a one-hit year, one-hit wonder year. They will get better. They will get back to the playoffs. They will be a good team. Yes, the Lions will be back with a new offensive coordinator. I don't know about the Viking situation. We'll see when that happens. Yes, the Packers who recently re-signed Matt LaFleur, they're going to come back and they're going to be pissed to play us again. But we have the competition. We have the talent to go up against these teams and beat them. We have the talent to go against any team in the NFL and beat them, whether that's on the road or at home. The real test starts now. Can we repeat what we did? Is this not going to be the the 1 year, one hit wonder where, hey, we're really good this year, and the next year we just completely shit the bed and we revert back to the same old Chicago Bears? I don't think that's the case because Ben Johnson's proven he can have a successful team, and I think with better talent we can do good. Caleb Williams will have another year under his belt in the Ben Johnson offense. And I think we will be back in the playoffs. It's going to be tough next year. Teams are going to make their improvements. But that's where we can make our improvements get better. An amazing year. A+ year on all fronts. For what this team has accomplished, A+. I could not be more proud, more happy of this team, and more proud just to call me a Bears fan. This team was in the shitter. And now there is a light at the end of the tunnel where we're going to be a good team for years to come. And we got the quarterback right. So tonight was a heartbreaking loss. It was. You thought the Bears were going to have one more rabbit trick out of their hat. They got the ball back, and then the interception happened, and then the magic gone. And sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. Sometimes the luck, the magic, it's got to end at some point. Whether it ended tonight, whether we won tonight, went to Seattle, and it ended there, or if we somehow found a way to get the Super Bowl and it ended there, or it paid off with us winning it all, that's the case. And then sometimes, look, the magic just ran out. It just happens, and you can't be mad. Yeah, it's heartbreaking and it sucks to lose, but I'm not mad about losing this game. It's frustrating that I saw time and time again the stupid short yardage situations. Frustrating. DJ Moore gave up and stopped running the route. It's frustrating. Caleb threw all these interceptions. It's frustrating. We couldn't get these critical stops, or we couldn't stop them one more time. But at the end of the day, this was a very fun year, very fun, magical year. And I can't wait for next year, as crazy as it sounds. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy this year that we had because 2018, I didn't enjoy it to the fully. That was a heartbreaking end to the season. This year, it wasn't as heartbreaking because it's like we knew we made too many mistakes this game and it bit us in the ass. But I'm going to enjoy this year because I didn't enjoy 2018 after we had that great season. I'm going to enjoy this year. And most likely, I'm going to enjoy this year more because I know for the future it's going to be better. And it's not going to be a repeat what happened after 2018 into 2019. And lo and behold, I may be wrong. Maybe they end up coming out and they're not bad and they're not as good. But I definitely do expect the offense to be better. And I definitely do expect the defense to improve. So it's going to be a very interesting offseason to see what the Bears are going to do. Who are they going to let go? Who are they going to let walk? Who are they going to bring back? And who are they going to add to this team? Now it's on Ben Johnson, Ryan Poles in the offseason to do what you need to do. And now you can add in Dennis Allen. I bet you Dennis Allen is like, hey, man, we got to get some defensive players. We got to get some pass rush here. So it sucks that the season ended the way it ended tonight. I really did. After we got that stop in overtime, I 100% believe we were going to go win this game. Caleb Williams made a mistake. DJ Moore just stopped running. And the Bears go home. Defense going to get one more stop. Bears going home. It sucks. It sucks. But that's how the cookie crumbles. That's how it crumbles. So there's really nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. You just take the loss like a man. You move on. It's emotional. I know the players in the locker room were probably definitely emotional. I want to be shocked if some of them didn't cry. But it is what it is. You gear up, make the improvements on this team, and get ready for next year. But successful season, very proud, and I can't wait for next year. So the magic ended tonight, but the future is bright. As crazy as that rhymes. So, anyways, at some point, maybe I'll get with my Uncle Daryl tomorrow. We'll probably have another Bears video talking about the overview of the season. And we'll talk about the improvements that need to be made and things like that. But till then, guys, this will be the last video, well, the second last video of the 2025-2026 Chicago Bears season. It was a pleasure coming back week in, week out, talking about these games. It was a fun fucking year. So, look, even though this is the end of the year, it's just the beginning. And the best thing we have is hope. The hope is we're only going to get better next year. So till then, guys, catch you guys in this video. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts. Hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Chicago Bears content. I'll definitely try to be more consistent with Chicago Bears off-season news and things like that and stuff like that. But yeah. But anyways, gonna catch you guys in this video. Till then, guys, stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your day or your night or whenever you're trying this video. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Till then, guys. Peace.